What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. It is match day for Manchester United. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me, if the audio is good. It should be. It should be good, but you just let me know. And the team lineups are out. And as the caption says, I hope I've got this right. As the caption says, Varane and Sancho on the bench for Manchester United. I'm sure there's going to be some disconcerting or disconcerted voices out there. I'm not too bothered. I'm not too bothered. Listen, we have got a big squad. We've got a big squad and a good squad. A squad that a lot of people say is good enough to challenge for the league. A lot of people say should be winning the league based on the amount of money that we've spent. So what's the I should Sammy goes Varane bench. I should tweet that out. I'm not tweeting that out. That's not my responsibility. My responsibility is to troll other fans out there. No, you've got a big squad and a good squad, and people say this squad should be winning the league or challenging for the league. Should at least be winning the trophy. This, that, and the third. So then we can't complain when we use the squad. The changes from the last game is that Dan James is out, Martial comes in, and Matic comes in for McTominay. So we're using the squad. Could he have started Varane? It's an option. He's on the bench. Could he have started Sancho? It's an option. It's on the bench. But then when does Martial play? When does Matic play? But we know Matic ain't going to play every game. We know there's going to be certain games that Matic will play. We know there's certain games that are not going to suit him. This is a game that Solskjaer says, you know what? This could suit him. And he decides to play Matic. If he doesn't play Matic in this game, then maybe it's going to be 2 or 3 games before he thinks there's a game where he wants to play Matic. Maybe Van der Beek comes in the next game or McTominay returns. So there's a lot of options that we have. And, you know, at the back, for me, I never thought Varane was going to start. And I was never pushing for him to start. If he started, I would trust that Solskjaer knows that he's ready, he's fit to start. But for me, I think being in quarantine for 2 weeks or so when he came over here, maybe a bit less. Maybe a bit less than that. But being in quarantine, he only trained a couple of days with Madrid before the deal went through. And sorry, 1 second. And then he came over here. He has only trained for a week. Now, yeah, a week is decent time. Yeah, it's not impossible, but we're not in a rush. We don't need to rush him in if he's not 100% ready. And maybe you just want to ease him into the fact that, you know, he's playing with a new team, playing in a new country. That goes for both Sancho and Varane. We know that Sancho comes from England. He's played, you know, in minor games for Man City in the past. But it's a new league, it's a new country, it's a new team. So if we don't need to rush, we're not desperate. We had a very, very good win on opening day. I know fans are gagging, foaming at the mouth to get some new signings on the pitch, which we haven't got yet. Of the 2 signings we've made, we've only seen Sancho off the bench. You know, brilliant appearance that Varane made when he came out to announce himself as a Man United player, but we want to see them on the pitch. I get that. I get we're excited for that, but it's a 38-game season in the league alone, and hopefully we're talking 50, 60 games in all competitions. If they don't play the first 2 games, or they don't start the first 2 games, is it that big a deal? For me, it's not. For me, it's not. Make sure you hit the like button. Thank you, Ian, for that. Let me go through some of these comments. Abdi says, prepare to take the L, Neeks. We got to win this game. I mean, this season is going to be a very tight season. That's why I expect it to be a very tight season. And therefore, we need to be winning these games. And I say that even more so in the sense that Chelsea are playing Arsenal today. We expect Chelsea to win, but it's a potential they can drop points in a big 6, say big 6 clash, if you consider Arsenal still to be big 6. Spurs have played Man City already. Man City have dropped points. And Liverpool are playing Chelsea next week. Somebody's dropping points. Man United's first 6 games are all against teams who are not considered big 6, top 4 title contenders, whichever way you want to look at it. One of those 3 categories. Therefore, we need to be winning all 6 games. We need to be getting 18 points after 6 because our October is rough. And that's when we're playing those 6 teams, or those other 4 or 5 teams within the big 6. We need to have, hopefully, well, I mean, if we win all our games, we're going to have a buffer on at least Man City and either Chelsea or Liverpool as they're playing each other next week, if not both. We could have a buffer, a little gap on all 3 teams before we actually play one of them. That's very, very important. And I think this team that Solskjaer's put out is good. Is good enough to win this game. Southampton, I think they lost their first game, was it 3-1 to Everton, I believe, in game week 1. So it's a good team. It's a good team, and we'll go through what we expect from the players in the specific positions. Shane says, I did think Lindelof would start. Yes, I did. However, I'm shocked that Sancho hasn't started and Matic is playing. Is surprising as well. I'm not too surprised. I'm shocked that Sancho didn't start. I thought he would. I thought Greenwood would remain up front, and I thought Sancho would come in on the right. But as I said, I'm not overly fussed. I'm not surprised that Matic is starting. I personally went for Fred and Van der Beek as my midfield too. I didn't want to go with Fred and McTominay for this game because I think we're going to be more dominant in possession, or we should be anyway, more dominant in possession against Southampton than we were against Leeds. Leeds is very just a back and forth, end-to-end kind of game. Southampton, we should be able to, or we should be aiming to push them back and back onto the edge of the area. Which means that you want someone like Matic who, one, can take the ball off the back 4, and he's not afraid to, he can be press resistant, turn on the ball, and he's got a good passing range, short and long as well. So we want to be dictating the play, and I think having Matic, Bruno, and Pogba as your main ball retainers, I think that's good. So Van der Beek could have worked, but I guess he's gone for the more defensive solidity and maybe even experience in Matic. And I said, Matic is not going to play every game, so you need to pick and choose which games suit him. So I'm not overly shocked about the Matic inclusion. I said Van der Beek, so for me it was one of the two had to come in next to Fred. Ian says we need the squad fit for October, and fit as in terms of not being injured, but fit in terms of match fit. So all the squad need to be getting games in the Premier League, and obviously we're going to have a couple, at least one, if not 2 Carabao Cup games by then. So there's going to be an international break as well. So you're hoping that these players can, but by the time we get to October, they're into the match rhythm. That if you have to bring in a Martial, a Sancho, a Varane, a Van der Beek, a Dan James, a Diallo, you're hoping that they've got some rhythm. You're not bringing them in from the cold. So I think it's important that we utilize the squad at this point, and then maybe over the October, you only maybe making one change to the starting lineup between games, depending on who you're actually playing against. You want to have a squad that is ready to play at all points, but you want to have a team that you say, this is my best team on any given day. Big up yourself, Dwayne. Yep. Friday night on the terrace. Yeah, it was a good show. I know obviously there was some issues with the audio and that, but especially in the studio itself, it was a very good show. Good to meet some people that I haven't met in the past, including yourself. So yeah, very nice to meet you as well. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Shane says, could this have been a suitable game for Donny, considering, oh, well, I kind of said that, considering Southampton are quite a pressing team and Donny is press resistant. Yeah, I think Matic can do the job as well. I did have Donny personally, but I did have Donny. I did have Donny in there, but Matic can work. Personally, I think our squad is big enough to cope with October, November, December if we are fit, says Ian. Our squad is big enough to cope, 100%. Some might say it's too big. That's why I mean to get rid of players. Is it good enough? That's what we're going to find out. Well, we're going to find out this season. This game is not a gimme. You can't look at this game and say, yeah, guaranteed. We should win this game. Don't get it twisted. We should be winning this game. If we don't win this game, it's a massive disappointment. Something's gone wrong somewhere if we don't win this game. But it's not a gimme. Southampton are a good team. That cannot be understated. They are a good team. It's going to be their first game at home in 18 months or so, in front of a full crowd. Of course, at the back end of last season, we had 40% crowds or something like that, 60%. So it's gonna be, it should be a raucous atmosphere. Home teams have fared pretty well in the first two games of the two game weeks of the season. Actually, let me just give a quick look at the record of home teams in the Premier League for the first two games. So last week, what am I looking at? Last week, Brentford, Man United, Everton, Chelsea, Leicester, Watford all won. Norwich lost to Liverpool and Burnley lost to Brighton. And then who else do we have? Newcastle lost, Tottenham won. So we had 3 losses and 7 wins, no draws in the first game week for the home teams. And yesterday, Liverpool, Villa, Man City, Brighton all won. Leeds and Palace drew. So far, with out of the 16 games, only 3 home teams have lost. Last season, it was 50-50 pretty much. I think away games even slightly edged it, maybe like a 51-49 of away teams winning versus home teams. Don't underestimate the fact of a crowd and it being the first game back. They should be 100% up for this, like we haven't seen well in about 18 months. Yeah, you did say match fit below that. Moada says, Marshall brace incoming. I want all our forwards firing. Greenwood got a goal. Pogba got 4 assists. Bruno got a hat trick. I want Marshall on the score sheet, and I've also got him in, not in my main fantasy football team, but I've got a draft fantasy football. I've got him in there, so I've got Greenwood in my fantasy football, so I could deal with both of them scoring. And Bruno Fernandes captain, so he needs to do what he needs to do. Ramsey says, need Bruno to keep quiet. I need him firing, captain. A lot of people captain Salah. I had Salah my captain for a while. And I was like, early kickoff. You don't captain the early kickoff. He doesn't have a great record against Burnley. Burnley. Then he scores. I'm like, oh, God. And thankfully, it was ruled out for offside. A lot of people had Salah captain. I went with Bruno. So I need something. Abdi saying, Bruno's stat pattern for my FPL is needed right now. Listen, give me a hat trick. And I can make a surge at the top of my leagues. Because a lot of people don't have Bruno captain. Abdi also says, do you think Varane will come on towards the end of the game? If we're playing well, I'm just going through Twitter, looking at people complaining, no Van der Beek. Everybody cannot play. Everybody cannot play. Someone's trolling me. So Sancho and Varane benched. What do I say to that? Rotated. That doesn't even count if they rotate because I haven't even played yet. I don't know what to say to that. I'm gonna leave that one. What I was gonna actually go and check, if you bear with me. Yeah, if we're playing well and we're winning the game, then I think Varane could come on. Remember, it's only 3 subs. It's not the 5 that they get in Champions League. And I think the foreign league get 5. But it's only 3 subs. So the game situation is going to dictate. We're going to want to see Sancho. I think Sancho will come on, regardless whether we're winning, drawing, losing. I think all those situations will call for Sancho. Midfield, you might get McTominay or Van der Beek. That's going to be match-dependent situation. Varane only comes on for me if either there's an injury to one of the centre-backs, which I hope there isn't, or if we're comfortably winning the game and he wants to give him some minutes. Those are the only situations where I see Varane coming on, personally. Bruno and Pogba will quiet the crowd. I would love an early goal. Nemanja Matic should sign for AS Roma, not good enough to be playing in the Premier League. He's not as good as he used to be, unfortunately, but he does have skills. He does have quality. So you have to be just very, very specific about what games are going to play. And I just saw some news. Ben White ruled out for Arsenal versus Chelsea, unwell. Defender would have started against Chelsea. A Chelsea side expected to include Romelu Lukaku. There's going to be a lot of banter about him obviously running away. Running away from Lukaku. That is funny. I just want to have a look at what people are saying about this lineup. Let's see. This team is more than good enough to comfortably beat Southampton. No Sancho and Varane. I'm not shocked. I'm a bit shocked. Someone says, incoming jobless goblins crying about the lineup again. I'll give that one a like. I just love the way Solskjaer handles these new players. He stylishly slots them in without notice. Hope to see them starting soon. I hope they do. I hope they do. It's only like obviously if you have a pre-season like Wan-Bissaka, Maguire did, then yeah, you can put them straight in the team lineup. Bruno Fernandes was midway in the season and he came straight in. So obviously he was playing, so he was 100% match fit. That wasn't a problem. Sancho hasn't had a pre-season with us. Varane hasn't had a pre-season with us. It's not that they've been playing elsewhere. Obviously in the Euros, but you know, there's been a while where they haven't played. I don't have an issue. If we were playing Dan James and Axel Tuanzebe and Andreas Pereira, then I'm like, no, something needs to change. But look at this team. We're going to go through it properly, but look at this team. It's a good team. Nomad says, we have a deep squad. I like this problem. I love it. Last season, we're clutching. We're like, it's Freddie McTominay again. It's Freddie McTominay again. It's Freddie McTominay again. Wait, am I just reading this right? Graham Souness believes that Man United could have coped without Jadon Sancho due to them having. I'm tired of Graham Souness. I'm actually tired. I'm tired of Graham Souness. Let me just tweet that. He's exhausting. I'm tired of Graham Souness. I am. Everyone else is allowed squad depth apart from Man United. When we signed Van der Beek, do we need Van der Beek? When we signed Cavani, well, we got Greenwood. What about Greenwood? But they want us to sign Kane, so obviously a striker was necessary. When we're playing Dan James, I mean, they probably like him because he runs a lot. But everyone else, Man City, are praised. No one's saying, well, why are Man City trying to sign Grealish? No one complained about that. Trying to sign Kane when they've got Jesus and they've got Ferran Torres and they've got Bernardo Silva, Riyad Mahrez, Raheem Sterling. No one's saying why are they trying to sign Kane? Why are they trying to sign or why are they signing Jack Grealish? No one's saying that. They're allowed squad depth. Man United are not. I'm tired of him and his narratives as a whole, and anyone who suggests that we don't need a strong squad. Look at what we're going up against. We're going up. If we were going up against a Spurs or an Arsenal, where they've got average, good to average first 11 players, and their squad is terrible, then cool. We don't need 25 men who can come in at any point and do a great job. But we're going up against Man City, who most people say their second team could get top 4. Their second team is better than Spurs, Leicester, and Arsenal's first team. But we can't have squad. Because when we don't win anything at the end of the season, then what? Then what? Yeah, you're joking. You're joking. Shane says, do you think Fred will play more attacking like McTominay did against Leeds? Of the two, so you got Matic and Fred, he's going to have to get forward more, 100%. And he got a goal in the last game. So I expect him to, I'm not saying he's going to become prime Frank Lampard, but I expect him to be more confident going forward. Man United have been crying out, Samuel Ingram says, Man United have been crying out for a quality CDM since Michael Carrick and Roy Keane. Matic was a good CDM, he's just not that anymore. So Campbell looks like he's done with Arsenal Sky Sports. He's so down. I'm not even watching it right now. Well, obviously I'm talking to you lot, so I wouldn't be able to hear it anyway. But yeah, I'll turn it on when I finish the stream. This stream will go on for about 10 more minutes. I just came from the gym not too long ago, so need to freshen up and get ready to watch this game. And obviously for the review, I'll be on the terrace, the football terrace after the game. And then during the week, we'll do like a bit of a catch-up roundup of the weekend in the Premier League. And probably speaking about some other sports as well. Did you see that run from my gals, all of them? Elaine Thompson, Shelly Ann Fraser, Sharika Jackson. Big up Brianna Williams, came in second to last. Shakari, you came last. But yeah, that's fine. Please don't repeat anything that Dee says. I apologize. I won't say anything. Mawada says, I think we need Shaw and AWB as high as possible for the width. I think Fred will sit with Matic to stop the counter. Hence, no VDB. Sammy says, City have Silva, Torres, Mahrez, Foden. I forgot Foden. I didn't even mention him. Grealish and Sterling fighting for 2 wide positions. That means 4 out of the 6 will be on the bench. Yeah, but Man United can't have squad depth. Can Lindelof play CDM? It's a question that has cropped up a few times. Yes, he can. He has, not for us, but he has in his career in the past. I don't want him playing CDM for us. For me, he is a centre back. He's one of 4 centre backs we should be choosing from this summer. Did Axel go on loan? Axel Tuanzebe. Did he go on loan? Yeah, he went on loan to Aston Villa, of course. So we got 2 of one of 4 centre backs, and I want, not that he can't do the job, but I do worry, to be fair, how physical he would be able to be in that position. We know physicality is one of his issues. Now, of course, he could play like a deep line playmaker, interception, etc. David Luiz was touted as, he had his defensive frailties, but he was great on the ball. And people spoke about whether or not he should be playing CDM. It never really happened. I think he did play a few games. Who was it under? Scolari? Ancelotti? I can't remember who played him there. AVB? I can't remember who played him there. Someone played him there. Not that it can't work, but he's a centre-back. But he has his issues. That's all it is. He's a centre-back and he has his issues. Looking at teams, obviously we've got David De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw. Now, as Mawada was saying earlier, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw, yeah, we're going to need them to go up the pitch, go on the overlap. Both are forward, my wide players are inverted. So Pogba's always going to come inside. Greenwood is preferred left. He obviously can do both, but he generally cuts inside. He's not a traditional winger. He's not going to go down the line, cross the ball, etc. So both of them are going to come inside, which is going to leave space for Wan-Bissaka and Shaw to do their overlap. And they're going to have to, because we're going to have to keep the width. Because we're going to have to keep their fullbacks occupied to allow Bruno and Pogba to operate in the middle. Because if everyone's coming inside and there's no width, then it makes it very, very easy to defend. Martial, he will play what I would say is a complete striker role. So he's not going to be on the shoulder like a Cavani running in behind. He can at times, but he's going to want the ball into feet and he's going to want running. So Bruno Fernandes is going to be very close. Like we saw against Leeds, he's going to be very close to the striker. Martial's going to drop in like Greenwood did at times. Hopefully run into the channels when Pogba comes inside. He will run into the left-hand channel specifically and allow space for Bruno Fernandes to run on like a striker, a secondary striker. So that's what I'm expecting. Matic Matic more dictating the play from deep, I guess, picking up the ball from the centre backs. Both centre backs can play ball. Lindelof more of his passing, Maguire with his progressive runs, but Matic ain't going to be afraid to get the ball and pass it off, whether out to the wide or turn on it and get it forward. I'm confident. On the back of a 5-1. Southampton didn't have a great game. They've lost a few players. Vestergaard's gone. Danny Ings is gone. We need to be careful with set pieces. Vestergaard was a big problem. I think Bednarek is decent on set pieces as well. Actually, let me see what the Southampton lineup is. Bear with me. Southampton. So go McCarthy, Livramento, Stevens, Salisu, Perraud. So they're centre backs. Romeo, Ward-Prowse, Walcott, Gineppo, Che Adams, and Adam Armstrong. We have to be wary, should I say, about their front line. It has got some pace in there. It's got a lot of pace actually, and trickery. So yeah, Wan-Bissaka and Shaw is gonna have to. They're gonna have to really balance how much they go and how much they stay. But with having Matic and Fred there, I think them two may sit a bit more to allow the fullbacks to go. And then you still have the two centre-backs and then the two pivots protecting on the counter-attack. Final comment before we go, make sure you hit the like button if you haven't done so already and subscribe to the channel, turn the notifications on. Shane says, I think Oli wants to overload the middle of the pitch with Greenwood and Pogba because, as you said, they would drift in, which will create a 4v2 in our favour. Yeah, I think they do want to overload the middle, but the way you really exploit it is by having width as well. So the fullbacks get there because then their fullbacks have to either they're going to have to go out to defend against our fullbacks, or they're going to leave them open. And we hope that Wan-Bissaka and Shaw can get in good crosses, which they may do. They may just say, you know what, we allow the cross to come in and we trust ourselves to defend the cross. So they're going to have to be caught between two decisions, and that's what you want. You never want to make it easy for defenders and a defending team. You want them to be thinking, what's the best decision? And we know Shaw was very good going forward last year, and Wan-Bissaka actually got more assists than him. I'm not saying he's better going forward, but he clearly can deliver the ball. So yeah, guys, that is it. That is my Southampton versus Manchester United preview. I hope we can get the win. We need to get the win, continue this. We don't want to stop this momentum so soon. You know, we're buzzing because of the lineup, with the signings, the win on the first game week. We need to follow that up with another win, bring some confidence, go on a bit of a run at the start of the season, and put the pressure on the rivals for the title. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you lot soon.